January 6th, Assemblyman Nick Perry of Assembly District 58 put forth an act to amend the public health law in relation to the removal of cases, contacts, and carriers of communicable diseases who are potentially dangerous to public health. Meaning, if they feel that you or your family member is a positive case for you know what, they can come in your house and come and get you or your family member. For all those concerned about Bill A416 who do not have the background information, this bill was initially introduced to address the public health concerns related to the containment of the Ebola virus, after it was discovered that Ebola-infected persons had entered the United States. There is no intent, no plan, or provisions in my bill to take away or violate anyone's rights or liberties that all Americans are entitled to under the Constitution, either state or federal. A proper reading of the bill would find that significant attention was paid to protect individual rights, which could be affected by exercising the authority granted in this bill. Let's give the bill a proper reading. A bill that he has tried 3 times already to put forth, but it keeps getting cut down in committee. That he tried to put forth April 2015, again in January 2017, again in January 2019, and now again in 2021. Why is it that every new year, Nick Perry wakes up with a burning sensation to put this bill into law? I'm just asking why. Removal and detention of cases, contacts, and carriers who are or may be a danger to public health. The provisions of this section shall be utilized in the event that the governor declares a state of health emergency due to an epidemic of any communicable disease, upon determining by clear and convincing evidence that the health of others is or may be endangered by a case, contact, or carrier, or suspected case, contact, or carrier of a contagious disease that, in the opinion of the governor, after consultation with the commissioner, may pose an imminent and significant threat to the public health resulting in severe morbidity or high mortality, the governor or his or her delegee, including but not limited to the commissioner and or the heads of local health departments, may order the removal and or detention of such a person or group of such persons by issuing a single order, identifying such persons either by name or by a reasonably specific description of the individuals or group being detained. Such person or group of persons shall be detained in a medical facility or other appropriate facility or premises designated by the governor or his or her delegee and complying with subdivision 5 of this section. Section 5 says a notice advising the person or group being detained that they have a right to be represented by legal counsel and that upon request of such person or group, access to counsel will be facilitated to the extent feasible under the circumstances. Mr. Nick Perry, as much time as you took to tediously and meticulously put things in place to try to protect people, you know as well as I do, when it comes down to Black people in this country, the judicial system, the medical system, every system that this country has to offer finds a way to be racist towards Black people. Oh, I wanted to read a little bit about Councilman or Assemblyman Nick Perry. I just wanted to read about him. Let's just see what it says about him on his own website, okay? New York Assemblyman Nick Perry was born and raised in the parish of St. Andrew, Jamaica. The fourth of 5 sons. In a family of 11 children, he completed his secondary education in Kingston College High School, where he attended a full scholarship and worked for the Bustamante Industrial Trade Union before migrating to the U.S. in the summer of 1971. Upon arriving to the U.S., Perry volunteered for the U.S. Army, where he served for 2 years of active duty and 4 years in reserve status. He is the recipient of several service medals and was honorably discharged with the rank of Specialist E5. Perry then attended college on the GI Bill, graduating from Brooklyn College with a BA in political science. So you don't think he don't know what we're talking about? And later studied for an MA in public policy. Once again, you think he don't know what we're talking about? He was appointed to the local community board. He demonstrated leadership skills that propelled him to be chosen by his colleagues as chairman. Okay, so Here it doesn't say when that happened, but on Wikipedia, it says that he was, in 1983, Perry was appointed as a member of the Brooklyn Community Board 17, okay, here in Brooklyn. So I'm going to ask a question. He has been on the community board and served in various positions in this community as we are being gentrified to hell. Do you see why I say I don't have faith in these black political leaders that we so-called have here in Brooklyn? They've been in office for how long, and we are being gentrified to hell. How is that happening? Let's take a look at some of the committees that Mr. Perry is on. Let's just go to the one that really strikes me. He is a member of the Black, Puerto Rican, Hispanic, and Asian Legislative Caucus. I done already told you about them. I know they real silent when things happen to black people. That's all I know about this caucus. Chiam Rumkowski was the head of the Jewish Council of Elders in the Lodz ghetto, appointed by Nazi Germany during the German occupation of Poland. Rumkowski accrued much power by transforming the ghetto into an industrial-based manufacturing war supplies for the Germans, in the mistaken belief that productivity was the key to Jewish survival beyond the Holocaust. The Germans liquidated the ghetto, which means killed everybody in it. Let's not be nice, okay? They murdered every living person in the ghetto in 1944. Meaning all of that buck dancing he did, all of the compromising that he did nothing. They were all still killed anyway. All the bargaining, the pleading, the begging did nothing. The Germans liquidated the ghetto in 1944. All remaining prisoners were sent to death camps in the wake of military defeats in the Eastern Front. As the head of the Judenrat, Rumkowski is remembered for his speech, "Give me your children."
A painful blow has struck the ghetto. We are being asked to deliver the best we possess: children and the elderly. I never imagined that I would be forced to deliver the sacrifice to the altar with my own hands. In my old age, I must stretch out my arms and beg, "Brothers and sisters, hand them over to me. Fathers and mothers, give me your children." Yesterday afternoon, they gave me the order to send out from the ghetto more than 20,000 Jews. If not, they will do it. I must perform this difficult and bloody operation. I have to take children, because if not, others might be taken as well. God forbid. I must tell you a secret. They requested 24,000 victims. I succeeded in reducing the number to 20,000, but only on condition that these will be children up to age 10. Children over 10 are safe. From small hamlets, barely 1,000 arrived here. So what is better? That 80 or 90,000 Jews remain? Or that, God forbid, the whole population be extinguished? I implored on my knees, but it did not work. This is the most difficult order that I have ever had to carry out. Give into my hands the victims. Hand them over to me, so that we will avoid having further victims. And a population of 100,000 Jews be preserved. So they promised me, if we deliver our victims by ourselves, there will be peace.
Delivered at a time when the Germans demanded his compliance with the deportation of 20,000 children to Chelmo extermination camp. In August 1944, Rumkowski and his family joined the last transportation to Auschwitz. Meaning, after he helped the Nazis get all of his people on board to the death camps, they didn't put him on the last train, okay? He was murdered there on August 28th, 1944, by Jewish inmates who beat him to death as revenge for his role in the Holocaust. This account of his final moments was confirmed by witness testimonies at the Frankfurt Auschwitz trials. In closing, Mr. Perry, we do not accept your bill. We voted for you, right? The people voted for you. The people are now going to call you up on the phone and tell you that we do not want this. If you put this forth, you will be putting it forth on your own without us, because we are telling you what we feel and what we want, and you are supposed to be our elected representative. So represent us and snatch this bill down.